In today's video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step full tutorial of how to make one of the most popular products that's selling on Etsy right now. Now, if you've been anywhere in the past year, you've probably seen that one product that keeps showing up and selling like crazy is these glass cups with a bamboo lid and a glass straw. These really grew in popularity because of people making TikToks and Reels and Instagram posts about them, but they genuinely are just so cute. Now, I have seen a number of different print-on-demand shops pop up in this past year selling only this item and already reached multiple six figures in sales just selling this really trendy product. So today I'm going to walk you through everything from how to source this kind of cup, how to come up with a great niche and a design to put on them, and then actually how to upload that product to sell on Etsy. Now, let's not waste any more time and just jump right into the tutorial. Now, the very first thing you need to do is find a manufacturing partner who actually has this item. Now, there really aren't too many different manufacturers who have these, especially for a low enough cost that you can make a true profit. So the one that I am using today is Printify. They have actually just recently added this to their catalog, and I'm super happy that they did because Printify is already who I use to source many of the other print-on-demand items I sell on Etsy. And so it makes it really easy and seamless that I don't have to integrate another manufacturing partner with my Etsy shop. So I'm just going to go over to their product search and just look up a bamboo lid cup. All right, so they have this really cute sipper glass. It's 16 ounces. I'm going to click on that here. And you can see it has that really cute, almost like a soda can design. And then you can put a design pretty much across the entire thing. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Right now, you can get these wholesale to sell in your shop for around $14. But if you do have Printify Premium, which is just a subscription service to Printify, that gets you a discount on all of the wholesale products. So that's going to take it down to only $10, meaning you can make a really decent amount of profit if you sell it with Printify Premium. Now, Printify by itself is totally free to use and integrates really easily with your Etsy store. But if you want to make a store with these, I definitely highly recommend thinking about getting that Printify Premium subscription. But I'll link all their information down below, either for that free account or if you wanted to get one of their paid plans. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Start Designing right here. Now, this is giving us the area where we are actually going to upload the design once we make it together. But the thing that I want to take note of here is the print area size. So that's going to be 2794 pixels by 1179 pixels. And you can even download a design template here if that makes it easier for you. But I'm going to take note of this size and just head over to my design suite so we can start thinking about what we want to make. Now, you really can use any design suite you're comfortable with, but today I'm going to be using Kittl, particularly because I think I might want to incorporate some AI image elements in this to make it a little bit more unique, and they are able to do that really seamlessly. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and click New Project. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to input that width setting and the height setting that we got over on Printify. And then I'm just going to go ahead and push create, and that is going to make a new canvas for us. Now, the next thing we really need to do is figure out what niche we want to target with this. Now, one big mistake I see a lot of new print-on-demand sellers doing is they go over to a place like Etsy and they see that just on the first pages, a lot of the cups like this that are selling are just really trendy, cutesy designs, maybe something with like flowers on it. But the reality is those types of designs are just way too competitive. If you want to be able to break into a more saturated market like this, you're going to have to find a way to really stand out and do something a little bit more unique. So while maybe you couldn't just do a groovy floral design, maybe you can incorporate elements into that into something that's a little bit more niched down. So I'm going to show you a tool that I have made and use to actually figure out how to get a really good sub-niche to use on a product like this. Now, if you've never downloaded or used it before, I actually have a free cross-niching guidebook. I'll link it down below along with a video tutorial of how to use this. But basically, this is just going to help you kind of think about a number of different categories and cross different elements in them to create a really sub-niched design. So for example, a 4th of July cup design is probably going to be something that is really saturated. But one thing that you could do to make that a little bit less competitive and make a way for you to actually make profit with this is to maybe combine it with something like a hobby. So maybe a 4th of July pickleball cup. That would be a great design idea. Or even like a 4th of July doctor cup. That's also another great one that crosses it with a career. So we're going to be thinking about doing something like this. Now, one of my most profitable holidays every single year might not be the one that you think about. It's actually Halloween. And even though we are right at the beginning of summer, it's really not too early to start thinking about making some Halloween designs, not only just on cups, but on any other print-on-demand products that you are selling. So I think that it could be a great idea to make some really cute Halloween, maybe even retro type designs. But if I just went for the basic Halloween type designs, I'm not going to be able to really rank in those top pages. So I have to think of a way to actually kind of sub niche and stand out like I was talking about. So I'm going to go over to my careers and just maybe think about a couple of those that could make really great Halloween designs and just have a smaller market for me to try to compete in. Now, one of the first ones that definitely could be a good one to make a cup for that is a Halloween themed is actually a nurse. So nurses are one of the most profitable print-on-demand niches, but it is so competitive. So any way we can kind of make that a little bit more specific, so adding it with a holiday and even adding it to a product that's maybe a little bit more uncommon, like these cups we're making, is a great idea because then you're tapping into that really passionate market, but you're not competing against a whole bunch of other shops. So I think a Halloween nurse would be a great niche. Now, the other one I was kind of thinking about as we are starting to think about approaching the back to school season is like a librarian, maybe even a school librarian. So we could do something kind of Halloween themed with books. That could be a very great niche too. So we have a couple really great ones to run with, but if you've never used this guidebook before, you can literally come up with over 40,000 different niche combinations and ideas. And the best way to really use it, I have found, is just pick a holiday that's coming up and start going through the careers and the hobbies. But you can also think about going through things like you could do like Halloween with a pet type. So Halloween golden retriever cup, Halloween pug cup. All of those can be really great sub niches that people are actually looking for, but there's so much less in the market for them to choose from. So let's take those two ideas I mentioned and run back over to our design suite and start creating our actual design. Now, I really love leaning into that kind of groovy retro aesthetic that is so popular. This did really well for me on Halloween shirts last year. So I think adding this onto a bunch of this type of cup is going to be a great seller. So all I'm going to do is go over here to the text, add a headline right here. And then I think that I want this to just say something really simple. So maybe something like spooky librarian vibes or spooky nurse vibes. And then this text really isn't cutting it. We want something that is cute and also has that retro feel. Now, Kittle has a lot of different cute retro fonts, but definitely the one that I always gravitate towards is called Sunny Drop. It's just that really popular font style that is selling like crazy. So we're going to go ahead and change it to that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and change it to something more cutesy as well. So this could be great on its own, but if you wanted to add just a little bit more spice to it, you can go over to the effects and just add a shadow like this. And I kind of like it to be a little bit angled towards the side, and you can make it a little bigger or smaller depending on what you like. And then I also like to go ahead and outline the text here. It just makes it both easier to read and I think a little bit cute and retro. So once that is looking good, I might even change the outline color to this black here. I think that works really well for Halloween. I'm going to go ahead and right click to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it as another line of text so I can start writing the other words. So spooky, and then let's do librarian. And then I'm going to copy it again and paste it, and then do vibes. Now we are going to actually kind of warp this text to have that groovy, wavy aesthetic that's really popular, and I'll show you how easy that is in just a moment. But first, I think I want to change the color of this lettering. So I really like that light pink, but maybe I want to incorporate like a darker pink and maybe even an orange color for Halloween. I think that is really cute. Let's try that. And then maybe the vibes can be orange. I think that's looking really cute, very pumpkin spice-esque. I can't believe in the middle of summer summer. I'm thinking about fall right now, but it definitely is the time to start thinking about it. All right, so we are going to mess more with this text, but the next thing that I want to do is figure out kind of what graphical elements I want to put on this. So I a lot of times like to have like one big graphic on it that maybe represents kind of the theme. So I'm thinking maybe something like a ghost with some books could be cute, or like something with a witch. And then we might add some other like smaller cutesy elements around the entire rest of the thing here, just to fill up the space, because we do have a lot of space to work with on those cups. And I think they genuinely turn out a lot better if you do fill up a lot of the canvas. So I am going to look in the elements here for like Halloween and kind of scroll through those, but I don't anticipate that they're going to have something so hyper specific as like a librarian Halloween kind of image. So I think we're going to have to end up making it with AI, but let's just go ahead and take a peek. All right, so they do have some cute elements, and I might even keep my eye out for some that could work well over here. Like, oh, that ghost is so cute. If you're doing just more of a generic design, these would be adorable. But let's see. I might even go ahead and put like something like a moon here and kind of use it on the side later. So whenever I find a graphic that I think I might like, I just go ahead and put it on the canvas, because if I don't like it, I can just delete it later. But if I do use it, I don't have to scroll around and find that again. So let's maybe look for something like a bat. I think that could be cute too. Well, they have a bunch of them. So I'm just going to throw some of these on here and we will mess with them more later. Actually, this one is really cute. Let's just add a few of these here. And then I'm going to go over to the AI, because I really don't think that we have a chance of finding what I want, like a ghost with books. So I'm just going to say cute ghost with a book. And then I'm going to go down here to the image styles, and I typically like the clip art style for a print on demand design. And I'm going to go ahead and push the cartoon and just go ahead and say generate image. All right, so just after a moment, it went ahead and generated this really cute ghost reading. I actually love that. What I'm not loving though is some of the colors. So I'm going to show you how to make this so it's really usable for our design. So the first thing I'm going to do is on the right, I'm going to click the AI background remover. So that just takes away the background, which is perfect. And then I'm going to click the image vectorizer. Now this is going to do a couple things for us. First, it's going to not give it as much of that like AI image look. It's going to more look like just like a t-shirt graphic or something that you would use. And then it's also going to allow us to change the colors. So when you vectorize it, you can choose how many different colors you want to keep in this. Usually I do something like 5 or 6 depending on how detailed it is, but you could even do less too if you wanted it to be more of a simple design. And now what this allows us to do is we can go ahead and click on the object, and then say I wanted the outline to be changed to black to kind of match here. And then I wanted his book to be this pink color instead. I could go ahead and start changing that just to make it fit more. And I could even do like orange if I prefer, but I think that reddish color looks the best here. And then we can just kind of start playing around with our design. So I think I want this guy in the middle here. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I think I'm going to click on this librarian and click distort, and it's going to allow me to start kind of messing with all of this right here. So I'm going to move this up and then maybe even move these sides down here. And then I can do the same thing with this top one. I can click the distort and then I can kind of bring it down to match that other one. And then same thing with vibes. I could even go ahead and make this bigger if I wanted to, or smaller, but I'm going to click distort and then I'm just going to kind of bring this up to match. All right, that's starting to look cute. Now, what I really want to do is kind of start filling in all of this blank space right here, because that's going to look pretty plain if that is just the whole cup. So he has a little sparkle here, but I think I might want to add all around the cup. So let's get some good sparkles going. I'm going to add this one. I'm going to add these. And again, don't worry about the color when you're adding elements, because you can always adjust that later. All right, so I'm going to change the color to black on all of these. Same with the moon. I'm going to change it to black. And then I'm going to just start kind of creating a little bit of a pattern here. So I'm going to make this smaller, and then I can even copy that and paste it. So I'm going to copy it and then paste and just kind of move that all around. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. copy it and paste it, and just keep doing that until I'm kind of creating a little bit of a pattern that I like. And same thing with the bats. I want a bunch of these bats all around. I'm just copying and pasting, adding a bunch of stuff. And one trick if you want to copy a lot of elements at one time is you can just select all of them, push copy, and then you can paste over here. And then I could do the same thing, paste again, and then start just kind of playing around with all of these. So I don't really want it to look perfect, just moving a bunch of stuff around. Sometimes you really have to play around with stuff for a while until it looks perfect. And if I wanted to, I could even start like changing some of these sparkles to maybe more of the color palette. So if I wanted to add some pink ones, I could do that. Really, the sky is the limit when you're making stuff like this, and it usually turns out pretty cute too. All right, that is looking really, really cute. But before I download it, I actually want to show you how easy it is to just make a completely new design for like the nurses that we talked about without doing a lot extra. So I'm going to just click on this artboard here, and I'm going to push copy, and I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to push paste, and it's going to paste the entire artboard down here. Now, all I need to do for this is, of course, we need to find a new image for the nurse, but I'm going to put nurse right here, and it already changed that. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look up like a cute ghost with like one of those nurse hats. So I just looked up cute ghost with nurse hat. It's in that cartoon style. We're going to go ahead and generate that. All right, so it generated this super cute ghost here. So same thing, I'm going to remove the background and I'm going to vectorize it. And then I'm just going to start changing some of those colors to be the ones that we have in here. So I'm going to change this to black, and then this color, it's pretty close, but I'm going to change it to the one that we have. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, this is the really fun part. I'm going to download it so we can actually put it on the product and see what it looks like. And if you are doing multiple things here, like I could even have 10 artboards going with all sorts of different niches. Like I could have done teacher, I could do dentist, all sorts of different things with this same type of pattern. I'm going to go over here to download. And then if you didn't want to do all the artboards at once, you could just click the one you want, but I'm going to go ahead and do all of those. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove the background here and download this to use. All right, so I'm going to go back over to Printify so we can actually add our design to these cups. I'm going to upload from my device here back on Printify, and now that's just adding that file we just created. All right, so that is looking really good on there. It's taking up the whole canvas, which is what we want, and it's showing where it's actually going to print. And then for the variants here, we're just going to make sure that we click with lid and straw, so that is on there, but you can also do the without lid and straw if you didn't want that. Now that we have our design there, we can go ahead and preview it. All right, that is looking so cute on there. So this is the front here, and this is probably a similar photo to what you'd want to show, like how it would look like. So here's one more in context that is super cute, but you can also see what the side view would look like as well. There's a lot of different mock-up options that kind of show what the whole product will look like. Now that's all looking good, and if we're happy with all of the placement, we're just going to go ahead and click Save Product. Now it's going to take us over to the section on Printify where we can start editing some of the elements of our listing. Now, my Printify shop is fully integrated with my Etsy store, and if you don't know how to do that, don't know how to set up an Etsy shop, I actually have a full walkthrough tutorial right here that you can do that in just a few minutes. But basically, I'm going to change a few things right here, but the bulk of all the edits I'm going to make are actually over on Etsy once this product is actually uploaded to my shop. So that is looking good, and you can choose if you want some of these other photos as well. So I might add these too. And then I'm going to change the title a lot more over on my actual listing, but for right now, I'm just going to do something like, say, Halloween librarian, and then keep the sipper glass. Now, the description is going to auto-populate with all the information about this product if you are using Printify. Now, I want to add some more description that has to do with this actual like niche that I'm selling in with some really good keywords and SEO, but I always keep the rest of this description at the bottom here because it does have really valuable information for the customer if they want to know exactly how many ounces or maybe the materials that it's made with. Now we're going to go ahead and edit the price of this item. So you definitely need to both take a look at the profit that you are actually making on selling this item with all your costs and the fees to upload to Etsy, but it's also a really good idea to take a look at your competitors in this type of market. So I might look up something like Halloween glass cup with bamboo lid and straw straw and kind of see the average prices people are doing. Now, you never want to do like the lowest price possible because some people, they really aren't making any profit on their items and you just can't compete with that. But you also don't want to be the highest price. So finding that sweet spot in the middle is typically what I like to go with. So right now I'm going to go ahead and change this to $19.99, but you may need to go higher or lower depending on all of your costs. Now, once you've changed all of those settings here on Printify, you're going to go ahead and publish. Now, right here on our Printify account, it's going to say that it's publishing and it can take a few minutes for everything to sync up. But once it's done, we're going to go over to our Etsy shop and it will show up right there in our listings. And once everything is completely published, the status will turn to green and that means everything is ready to go over on your Etsy shop. So let's head there now. All right, I'm over in my Etsy shop and I can see that item showing up here in my active listings. Now, what I'm going to do to start actually editing this so we can work on the SEO and the description, the tags, is I'm going to click this gear icon and just click edit. Now, the first thing that we can work on is this title here. Now, when I am making the titles for any of my print on demand items, there are a few things that I always think about. So you first want to think about what is this item for, who is this item for, what actually is this item, and a lot of times like what occasion is this for. Now, in between that, if you answer all of those questions and there still are other, you think keywords or things that people would be looking up, we want to include them. Now, one area that a lot of new sellers get tripped up is they really get caught up in kind of describing exactly what this item is instead of getting in the mind of a customer and thinking about what am I searching that you would want people to be led to this item. So for example, somebody might search something like cute Halloween glass cup for librarian. So I probably want that long tail keyword to actually be included in my title. So I'm going to fill out this title and then I'm going to go over what I did with it with you guys. All right, so I filled this out saying cute Halloween glass cup with bamboo lid, straw for librarian, spooky book lovers, gift for teachers, ghost reading books, Tumblr library mug. So I included a lot of the long tail keywords that someone might actually search for, as well as a lot of those really good keywords that people also might be looking for. So somebody might look for like library teacher mug. So if they search for that, they might not know it yet, but they might actually want this as the gift that they were maybe getting for their kid's library teacher. So I also included the words Tumblr and mug because those are similar enough that if someone was looking for a mug, they might come across this and be like, oh, this is actually more of what I would want to give them. And sometimes people don't always know what words to actually search for this. So they might search like glass tumbler or glass bottle. So all of those things you can think about. And then I included words about Halloween, like spooky, ghost. So all of those are my most important keywords. Now for the photos, you can definitely go ahead and add more photos to this. You can make your own mock-ups and add those here too if you wanted to, but make sure that the thumbnail is going to be the one with the actual front of the item because that is what we're really prioritizing. Now, similarly with this description, I want to include some of those search phrases and just a lot of the keywords that people might be looking for in a couple of full sentences. So unlike the title where you can get away a little bit more with having some kind of sentences, but also more keywords, this really has to read like true text. It can't just be keyword stuffed. So I just wrote a few sentences. I said best Halloween gift for librarian at school, children's library glass cup with lid for women, glass tumbler with ghost and books, Halloween reading gift for librarian. So all of those are full sentences, so that should be great. Now, the next thing we need to think about is the actual tags. Now, this is again really valuable real estate, so we want to put in some of the most important keywords that we think people would be searching for. So things like we could do Halloween librarian, ghost reading, spooky librarian, librarian gift. So I'm going to fill out a few of those here as an example. So I did a few. I said groovy Halloween, retro librarian, cute librarian, book lover gift, librarian mug. Now I do have 7 left, and when you're doing your listings, you definitely want to make sure that you fill out all of those. That is really valuable real estate. You don't want to leave that SEO on the table, but for this video, I just did a few of those as examples. Now I just have a default no returns and exchanges, but you can change that to fit with your shop policies. And then you want to make sure to put it in a good shop section. So I might even create one that was something like groovy Halloween, or if I had had like a book lovers or a librarian section, that could be a great one to put it in as well. But a lot of people leave this blank, and not only does that make your shop a little bit disorganized, but this actually kind of acts as a bit of SEO too. So if people looked up cute Halloween cups, if you had a section tagged with that, that is going to add to your SEO. So I'm just going to add a section called cute Halloween cups and save that. And then if you want to enroll it in ads, you can, or you can turn that off here. And then you're going to pick your renewal option. So you can have it automatically renew every time that the time frame expires, but sometimes I'll keep it on manual because if this really hasn't gotten any traction, I might want to review it and see if I can make any better updates to it to actually help it start ranking. But I'm going to go ahead and put it on manual and publish those changes. Now all of those changes have been updated, and if we want to check it out, we can just click the gear here and click view on Etsy, and it's going to take us over to that listing page. So we can see all of the information that we changed here and look at those other views of the mug as well. Now for that nurse design that we made, we would just go through the exact same process, except thinking about some of the keywords that are really important to nurses or what people might be searching to find something like that. Now with this same method, you can go back and use my cross station guide, and if you don't know how to use it, I do have that full workshop that's going to take you through step by step how to use something like that. But you can use this exact same method for making these cups with pretty much any different niche out there. Like I said, the hobbies, sports, and activities with holidays do really well. So you could just start going through those and adding those to your shop because this is such a profitable and trendy item right now. And if you want even more design ideas for some really profitable designs right now, make sure you watch this video next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.